Now, once you've chosen a credit card, this is a very important step, is filling out the application. Most credit cards allow you to get approved almost immediately. Some credit cards will even give you a number so you can start using those credit cards immediately, and you can add it to any type of online purchases or anything like that. You can even add it to things like your iPhone for your Apple Wallet, your PayPal, and that will help you actually start meeting that bonus sooner than having to wait, a week or so to actually receive the physical credit card. Now, I want to just walk you through what the application looks like. So here's the application for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This is the public-facing offer. Can't reiterate this enough, but you need to go check creditcards.com/creditmatch to make sure and see if you have a better outstanding offer. So this is essentially just a landing page from Chase. It gives you a highlight of the benefits, the $300 annual travel fee, 50,000 bonus points after you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months. So once you're ready to start the application, if you haven't gotten a better offer from the card match, just go ahead and go directly to the actual credit card and hit apply now. And this is essentially what it's going to ask for. A lot of your personal information, things like your salary, your gross annual income, your social security number, your birth date, mother's maiden name. So make sure you are doing this on a private computer. You don't want to be doing this at a library or on a friend's laptop because they might, have the information stored or just be more vulnerable to security attacks. Put in all this information, select your income source, whether you're employed, unemployed, self-employed. And then again, it does have an option here for your residency, you rent, own, your gross annual income. So it gives you a bit of an explanation there. And then my scenario, I live overseas, so I take advantage of an IRS tax incentive. So you can put in what portion of your income is non-taxable. And then lastly, if you want to add an authorized user, some credit cards do have an option where if you make just a small purchase with an authorized user, they'll give you, up to 10, 15, even 20,000 bonus points. So it's good to investigate and see if that's an option for the card you're looking to apply for. So once you fill out all that information, again, if you are going to add, a significant other, make sure you do notify them about adding them as an authorized user. So some more terms, and then you just click submit. And depending on what type of credit score you have and type of credit history, a lot of times they'll approve you immediately, and then they'll just ship the credit card to your place. This is a really easy sort of thing to walk through, but it is an important step because you do have to do this over time. And once you receive the credit card, you can start working on hitting the bonus. So like I mentioned, for this Chase Sapphire Reserve, it's 50,000 bonus points, which is equivalent to around $1,000 in value. And you get those bonus points after you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months. And Chase has a really great platform for, booking flights, and you can just go in there, enter where you want to go and which, type of travel you're looking for. Again, the best valuation for the Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to be with flights. So make sure you do save it and make sure that you are getting a good value out of spending these points. Another good, credit card I wanted to mention was the Barclays credit card. This is a really cool example of a card that you would probably just open, meet the bonus, and then downgrade, or just even cancel it. So the cool thing about this is you get 60,000 AA Advantage bonus miles, which are worth a lot, and the annual fee is only $99. So with this card, you can spend $100 total. So you only have to spend $1 to meet this bonus, and then you have to pay the annual fee. I was actually targeted for an offer where they waived the annual fee for the first year. So I got 60,000 bonus points for spending $1, which is a crazy redemption. So I'll keep the card open for a bit, and then before the next annual fee, I'll probably go ahead and just close it out and reap those benefits. It just goes to showcase how easy it is in some cases to get these sign-up bonuses. Literally, you with this card, you only have to spend $1. You can just go buy something from the grocery store, a bottle of water, and then get a free international trip to Europe. So once you have the card, I do want to discuss, whether you should keep it, downgrade, or cancel. So for example, the previous card from American Airlines, There's not a ton of great benefits. There's a few things, but I have another AA card that has a lot more benefits to it. So for this one, I would do a cost average. How much is the yearly recurring fee? What are the benefits worth to me? It's going to vary for each person. And then decide whether, you can downgrade. I always suggest downgrading to a no-fee card. So all you have to do is call up, say, I'm interested in downgrading, or you can do some research. Not every card is eligible for a downgrade. If it's not eligible for a downgrade, you feel like you're not getting $100 worth of value out of the card, then it's probably worth canceling. And before you go ahead and cancel, you want to see how much it'll impact your credit score. So let's say this card is, one of your 2 cards, but it has a $50,000 credit limit, and your other card only has $5,000. So this would be a big impact to your credit score. So it's probably worth, in that scenario, not closing down and just paying the $100 fee and, just keeping it open and seeing it for that specific card. If you have $50,000 in credit for that, it's probably worth keeping that card until you find a few other cards that you're adding into your portfolio of cards that have more credit limit. So if you do decide to cancel a card, you can check flyertalk.com to see if there's any type of retention offer. Essentially, this is you'll call up, say you're interested in canceling your card, and depending on how much money you've put on the card, your credit score, a lot of other factors, the credit card company will be like, hey, before you cancel, we have this special offer for you. If you spend $200, we'll give you 10,000 more bonus points. And then you can decide on the phone if that's a good offer or not. The cool thing about Flyer Talk is it lists a lot of the retention offers, so you can see and gauge what type of offer you're going to get before you call. And sometimes you can just straight up ask like, hey, I'm interested in canceling. I'm just not getting good value. Is there any type of retention offer or bonus that I'm eligible for? They want to keep you as a customer on their credit card, so they'll do just about anything as possible to get you to stay as a customer. So if there's no retention offer and you've calculated that it's not going to really impact your credit score, then you go ahead and just close the account. You'll take a slight dip in your credit score regardless, but it shouldn't impact you too much in the long term as long as you're maintaining a lot of other credit cards. So once you've done this, you can just kind of repeat this process over time. And this is the same exact steps that I've used for the past 10 years to build my 815 credit score and to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars in free travel credit. Now, before you downgrade your credit card, I want to make sure that you go ahead and use this spreadsheet to keep track of all your credit cards. It's something I use, and this is just a great example of what you can take into consideration before actually closing down your credit card or downgrading it. Essentially, it's going to show some information that you can pull from Credit Karma, or you can pull directly from your credit card account. So to use this sheet, you just need to go to File, make a copy, and then you'll be able to edit it and put in your own information. So, for example, this is this could be the first credit card you have, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. It shows you how much the fee is, what the credit limit is for your individual situation. The credit limit is going to vary from person to person. And then it'll be, you can put in your own valuation. How much benefit are you actually getting out of this card? And that's going to, again, vary from person to person. And then you kind of decide if you should downgrade this. You can put in the comments, yeah, I should set a calendar reminder to downgrade this card in 8 months after I'm eligible. So this is a great way to just kind of lay out all the credit cards you have, look at the credit limits. So that's going to be a big factor in affecting your credit score. If you have a credit limit of $70,000 and you only have 2 cards, that's going to really impact your credit score in a negative way if you close out that $70,000 card, because that's such a big portion of your actual credit. So this is something to really consider is your actual credit limit before closing out a card. You probably want to open a few more cards if this is your current situation where you only have 2 credit cards. You probably don't want to close out a credit card. So that's why downgrading would be your best option. So a lot of times you can downgrade to a card with a lot less fee or with no fee at all. So I always suggest looking into downgrading before you cancel a credit card. The good thing about downgrading is it won't impact your credit limit. So you normally have that same credit limit, but you just won't have to pay the yearly fee, or you'll pay a lot smaller fee. If you do decide to cancel, again, see if you're open or eligible for a retention offer. But if you're not and you've decided that it won't impact your credit score, then go ahead and cancel. I will always advise for keeping the card open if you're getting good value out of it. If not, look to downgrading. And then lastly, look for a retention offer. And then if there's no retention offer, just go ahead and cancel the account. You'll see a slight shift in your credit score, but over time, it'll recover. Now, make sure you do utilize this spreadsheet. It is a great free resource for you.